Lore is a very important part of most games unless it's straight up action that the developers want to focus on. Let's check out the lore that Blizzard is showing us going into Legion. I have to say though, it's quite impressive. What's up guys, you got Crave here. I think Blizzard is trying to make up for the mess that was Warlords of Draenor. While the previous expansion had nice things going for it, like the leveling process, the raids still being of good quality, and very few other things, overall it was still a very confused, Facebooky, and lacking in much needed solid material for players. Sure, Raiders had a somewhat okay experience, but for many other player types, Draenor was mostly fluff, as I mentioned in my older uploads. In Legion, professions, class uniqueness, raids, dungeons, and other aspects are all so far looking meatier as opposed to WoD. And that's all good, but we have to be wary though, as WoD did show so much promise initially, which is why sub numbers surged upwards when Blizzard felt that they should still be reporting those figures. One more thing that Blizzard is doing right by their newest expansion is putting more meaning into the lore going into Legion. Now first off, to be fair, Blizzard did put out a fantastic series prior to Draenor's launch with the Lords of War series, which features, well, of course, the different orc warlords in the previous expansion. Those are great, and while they don't really compare to the awesome cinematics that Blizzard produces, they still gave a very good background on the different characters you could encounter in that expansion. Now Blizzard has done it again, but with more content this time. They introduced the Harbinger Series, which is in the format of an audio drama. And the Harbinger Series is like the Warlords, or rather the Lords of War series, which gives a solid background on the main characters in Legion. Unless it is expanded on, it features Khadgar, Gul'dan, and Illidan, so we basically had all three already. And these videos give you a very solid feel of the motivations of each character involved. The presentation style is very similar to Lords of War, so don't go expecting, well, content similar to what you see or what you often see from Blizzard in their cinematics. Now, the comics are also a pretty solid addition to the lore for the characters of Azeroth. Minus the Suramar piece, the other three comics feature the other lore characters that you've seen in previous expansions. The most impressive and intriguing for me, personally, was the one involving Anduin. Now, I initially thought more of Anduin rubbed off on Varian, his father, and the previous High King had turned into a more cautious and the type who would consider peace as initial options prior to drawing swords. However, swatting aside the demon that tried to trick him proves that Varian's influence on his son, is actually there. The intriguing part of the comic is when we see an older Anduin inside a Draenei structure which hints at a certain future. I wonder if that means we will be leaving Azeroth towards the end of the expansion. But going back into the Legion lore content. Now, the part I liked the most about these reveals in multiple formats were the audio pieces. It's a 4-part series which has basically delved into the actions of Gul'dan and Khadgar as they head into the Broken Isles and witness the culmination of the Burning Legion's efforts through Gul'dan. Now, we hear about Gul'dan being led by Kil'jaeden into the tomb of Sargeras as he, well, quote-unquote obeys his master's prodding to prepare the way for the Legion. Now we also see Khadgar and his attempts to hunt down his old nemesis. The narration of the content is very, very impressive, and to think that there's only one person doing this for most of it, unless I'm mistaken, it would be even more impressive if he voiced every single character in those audio pieces. Now, you can feel the tension well told, and you can picture in your mind the clashing of arcane and fell energy when the Warlock and the Mage battle it out. The audio pieces increases in intensity perfectly until the last audio track. These tracks are an extremely win effort on Blizzard's part. It tells you of how much Gul'dan hates being a puppet after what he went through in the Harbinger cinematic. The treasonous nature of the Warlock is so evident in the narration that the part where he gains the power that he had so longed for was such an amazing thing to listen to. You felt the orc reveling in the power he had gained, and at the same time you also felt for Khadgar, who, even though being the Archmage that he isn't that powerful, and he realizes that at that point where Gul'dan gained the power that he longed for, Khadgar just realized that he was not that powerful anymore, and he had to seek for help. And it's really that the straining of Khadgar to chase Gul'dan and him finding out that he was a step behind, and the difficulties in encountering an old lore character, the so-called nemesis of Il'dan, especially from the original Warcraft series, being resistant to cooperate was also a very tension-filled moment. I mean, it's just really there. However this was planned out or directed, these audio pieces, it was really amazing. But of course, without giving too much away, I have to say that let's just end it there. And overall, the audio drama series is a great effort on Blizzard's part to put out more meat into Legion, and it is very much appreciated. It's the perfect introduction to an expansion and the demon invasions we will be having soon on the 9th. And I'm hoping that somewhere mid-expansion they can continue to expand on it. I mean, MMO gameplay is generally not the best way to deliver stories, but maybe Blizzard can come up with something. Again, if you haven't checked out the full media content, you can do so by checking the description box below. So thanks for watching this, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.